I just talked to one of the Sony representatives at Sony's tech support, and you know what they told me? The app for all the PlayStation Network stuff does not work properly, or doesn't work at all. And that's what the Sony rep told me. I'm like looking at it like, huh? What her exact words were, the apps for the PlayStation are no longer compatible with the PS4 for the iPhone. At least that's what she told me. That was her own words. So I'm thinking, did this happen after the update for the PlayStation 4? I'm like, okay. Or after the iPhone's update. Because if that's the case on both accounts, either one needs to be fixed or rectified immediately. Because as far as we know, Sony needs to fix this problem ASAP. Because if there's a app problem like Amazon on their side, they automatically notify, or if you call into their warehouse or their call center, they will easily rectify that situation. But Sony does not have any idea how to fix this issue. They claim to be number one. Again, greatness awaits. That's their tagline on the phone when you call them up and go, greatness awaits, but your apps don't work anymore. Their message center doesn't work. You can't send messages anymore unless your friends they add you to their friends list. But other than that, you can't send other people messages on PSN anymore if you're trying to meet them or something. Or you want to try to get their friend request. You can't just send those messages anymore. They have to send you a message and then you could receive them through the PS4. But you can't actually send them a message until they send you a friend request through the app. So the only way I could send messages right now to new friends of mine through the app is if they send me a friend request and I add them through my PS4 and then go on the message center and do it that way through my phone. And I was thinking, boy, that is so difficult. I'm like, I better call Sony and check out what's going on, because this has been going on since the update was first announced for the new system update. At least that's what I'm aware of. And apparently Sony doesn't have any plans to release a new update for their own app. I mean, and you know what that lady told me? They're not responsible for that kind of technology. Somebody else is responsible for that technology that we're using for the PlayStation app on the iPhone 4, on the iPhone 6, or the iPhone in general, which clearly makes me very upset that I have the PlayStation 4 app to send friend requests and they both don't work properly. If I send a friend a message and they're already my friend, I could send them a message. But the other way, if I add them, I have to add them through my PS4 and then send them a message that way. And it's been going on for about 2 weeks now since the update was actually released. And I told the Sony rep that I actually talked to somebody needs to fix this, because if I was the owner of Sony, I would be very pissed right now, because I didn't go through the proper channels to fix this issue that they're having. But I don't have enough resources to buy a company like Sony. I wish I did, so I could rectify the majority of their problems, so I could rectify the phone situation for their app thing, and if I have to make another deal to make the app work again, I'll do that. But I'm not the owner of that company. I wish I was, so I could fix the majority of Sony's problems, and their tagline that they need to get rid of is greatness awaits. I mean, they have so many technical problems that it's ridiculous. I mean, first, their PS4 is not backwards compatible. Secondly, with the PS3 games, because they're Blu-ray discs. Secondly, this app business is going on. Both of their apps are almost non-usable now because they didn't make a update for it or a patch for it. So I'm sitting here going, what the hell, Sony? Like, why haven't you even fixed this yet? I mean, I'm sitting here going, why haven't it been fixed yet? I mean, this is, you guys made a deal with some company that does the technology for this app, and it does not work. The only way the apps work, only the message side of things, they only work once I add you as a friend through the PS4, and then I can send you a message through my phone. But I can't add another person from the app and get a friend request that way. I have to add that person from the PlayStation network from my PS4, and then add them, and then they will appear on my phone. But other than that, it does not work. I can't send messages. I can send them after they're added as my friend, but that's about it. And as far as I know, Sony's app in general, apps that they use need to be completely overhauled, because damn, this is ridiculous. This has been going on for 2 weeks or about a month, almost a month, and nobody's rectified this debacle that Sony's having. I would say about 60% are iPhone users, and the other 40 to 20% of people, around 20, and the other 20% are Android users. But Sony says the Android thing works. Like, I don't know what she meant by that, but they haven't even bothered fixing the problem with the iPhone version of the App Store. On Sony's part, the messaging doesn't work properly. The trophies and looking up all your friends on the app online doesn't work at all. It says, what does it say? Let me get into this. App. The PlayStation app. Let me look at this. Is it gonna pop up? Or is it gonna be... Let me see this. I need to see this for myself. Let me see. I just had it a couple minutes ago, and it's not even loading. This is all I get now. Blue screen. Just like when I played Tales of Vesperia. Blue screen. Nothing but blue screen. And this is the PlayStation app right now. This is the normal one. Nothing but blue screen. Sony. What do you guys do? What kind of deals are you making with different companies fixing your... doing your guys' app? I mean, that's ridiculous. And it's been going on for at least 21 days already? Ever since the update for the PlayStation started for the newest update? As far as I know, it wasn't really worth it if you're having this many technical issues with the App Store. I would have to say that Sony overall needs to actually come up with a different version of the app if it's no longer compatible with the iPhone 6. That's the bottom line. Because why? Why are you guys making it so hard to actually enjoy or semi-enjoy the PS4? Every reason that I've stated in the past is true. Now I'm seeing no what's the word? Fluidity between the PlayStation 4 and your guys' app that you guys have. Those two apps that you guys have. And yet, you guys always say greatness awaits. Where's the greatness? Your apps don't even work anymore, Sony. This is an age where everything is supposed to be working. Not having 3 different problems simultaneously happening. I think, honestly, Sony's way of their thought process of their business model, greatness waits, when they don't even fix their issues with their company, especially with their own app, they don't even fix that. So why did I invest in Sony? The only reason why I bought a PS4 was because I didn't want my old school PS3 to break. That's why I invested in a PS4. That's my only incentive to ever buy a PS4. Otherwise, I would have kept chugging along with my PS3. But I've had that thing for 9 years, so I didn't want that my good system to break. I don't care about this system because nothing seems to work on it. Come on, Sony. What are you guys clamoring over this greatness awaits crap? And you're always saying greatness waits on your messages all the time. Every time I go into the call center, which is not that often, greatness awaits. Even in your commercial, it says greatness awaits. Greatness of what? Your apps don't even work on your guys' on the iPhone 6 anymore. What did you guys do? Not make a deal with whoever develops your guys' app for you guys? So you didn't renew that thing, so now the people that own iPhone 6s don't have any access to your guys' app unless it's directly through the PlayStation 4? That doesn't make sense to me. That's just stupid. I don't. That's not logical, and that's stupidity at its finest. I mean, I mean, I'll, I mean, I'm seeing nothing right now on my screen on my iPhone because there's usually it says temporarily disconnected, please try again, but now I'm not even seeing that anymore after I called the Sony rep. But I mean it's ridiculous. And even if I wanted new friends on PSN, I couldn't do it. I could add them directly from my PS4, but I can't actually give them a PSN thing unless I'm directly adding them from my PS4 and then to my phone, and then sending them a message through my phone after the whole process is completed. But other than that, you can't do anything with your guys' apps anymore. I mean, on the iPhone. Because of what reason? Of renewal reasons or something? I don't know. When that lady talked to me, I'm like, looking at it like, huh? Your apps don't work on the iPhone because of some software from either the iPhone itself or the PlayStation Store. I'm thinking ever since they updated the PlayStation 4, it's coming from the PlayStation, not the iPhone, because coincidentally the iPhone's been working just fine ever since the update for the PlayStation. The apps don't work, and it's their own app that doesn't work on the iPhone, and they blame the iPhone because of that reason. I think, but why is it the iPhone's fault? It's, as Sony, you're supposed to be responsible enough to give out updates periodically if you're having technical issues, but they're not doing none of that. They're not actually doing their job. They're just giving excuses one after another. They always say greatness awaits on their commercials all the time, but nothing. What is this? Now your apps don't work on the iPhone? I mean, come on. I mean, at least 60% of people own an iPhone, and it doesn't work on the iPhone? Your guys' app for the PlayStation apps don't work on the iPhone, and that's 60% of your market right there. I own a iPhone. I owned iPhone 4 for the longest time. It took me 6 years to upgrade. And Android owns about, what, 20% of the market? 25% of the market? And yet, Sony claims that they've actually patched that one up instead of the major player right here. I mean, that's the only reason why I'm saying. The only reason why I'm able to send messages so fast is because I'm able to use my iPhone when I speak in the message center. Otherwise, it would take me forever to actually access or send messages from the PlayStation directly, because I can't type that fast. I don't spell pretty good, but I could actually talk when I speak. So through my little microphone for the iPhone, but even that has difficulty understanding what I actually said. So I have to actually re-say it countless times. But other than that, the iPhone is good. But when the apps don't work for the iPhone, for the PlayStation 4, that defeats the purpose of even bothering calling yourselves, for Sony's perspective, greatness awaits. Why do you guys even use that tagline? That's just stupidity at its finest. I mean, greatness should not be always told. It should be earned by people that respect you as a company. I don't even think that Sony deserves that much respect. I mean, they even though they claim that they make all this money, but yet they're not willing to forego over a couple bucks to fix this problem with the app, or they're not willing to make a backwards compatibility of a system for the PS4. And mind you, they've already hit their heyday when the original PS3 came out, when it was backwards compatible. I remember those days. I remember that day when I heard the PS3 came out, the original PS3, not that little tiny miniature garbage one that doesn't have any backwards compatibility and stuff like that. I'm talking about the Big Bertha, the creme de la creme of the PS3's heyday. That could play this game. Where, let's see. Let's pretend this is a PS2 game, but it's a PS4 game. This. And let's pretend. Where's that? Let's pretend this is a PS1 game. And guess what? It used to be able to play these too. CDs. But Sony's dropping the ball left and right. The fact of the matter is, their apps don't even work. And they don't even know when they're gonna actually fix that problem. It's kind of stupid. I mean, it's dumb. It's like you're running a car and you're only running it at not its full power. I mean, you're running it at not even 25% power. You're more like running it at 5% or 1% because you're not willing to change mistakes that you have done, that Sony has done. I mean, Sony's first mistake, I thought, was not putting backwards compatibility in, which it was, but at the same time, they're not even fixing their own technical products that they've had added to rectify certain situations for the PS4. I mean that's what it is. And that's how I feel. about this situation with the PS4 or the PlayStation stuff in general. I mean, first they get rid of backwards compatibility, and secondly, their apps don't work after the update on the PS4. I mean, that's just dumb. I mean, that's just stupid. And they also claim again that they don't know when they're gonna actually fix that problem. So I feel bad for all the PlayStation users that have the app, because clearly it doesn't work on the iPhone anymore. I think the lady also said it works better on the Android, or they fixed it on the Android but not on the iPhone. That's what she claimed that it does, but that remains to be proven. Sony's mistake. They're making mistakes left and right. I don't know why they charge people $50 to use the PlayStation Now stuff for 3 months. Only 3 months. And $25 for a month. And they say to people that greatness awaits. Their greatness went out the door as soon as they got rid of backwards compatibility. First off, let's get that straight. Secondly, they claim that they fixed all their revenue problems. If that was the case, why doesn't your guys' apps work? Or why don't you guys consider making a backwards compatibility system that could play games like this instead of rebuying newer versions of the same damn game? I like this game, but I have it for my PS4 also, because if it's not backwards compatible, it's not backwards compatible with this one. If it was backwards compatible, you know what I would be doing right now? I would get rid of this one and open up my PS4 one. But because I already have it on my PS3, I play it on my PS3. And that's what for Tales of Vesperia, I play it on my PS4 because I'm forced to, because there's only a digital version of that same game on the PS3, which boggles my mind. Sony. Why do you guys do this to yourselves? Every time I look at your guys' company, I'm flabbergasted on what you guys are actually doing. Your tech support is 20 minutes long. The wait time period is 20 minutes long. At least 20 minutes. And yet, when your answers to everything, did you try this? Did you try this? The only two people that I get straight answers from, only two people in that company, in your tech support. But I wasn't pleased with the answer that I got from Sony today, because they tell me the apps are no longer compatible. Okay, so clearly your games are not backwards compatible. Your apps are no longer compatible with the actual system. So why do you need to spend $50 on digital games? Why? There's no reason for that. That's just how I picture it. Sony, 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 Sony. This is why I knew this was gonna happen. Every time Sony tells people that Kingdom Hearts comes out on the PS4, you know why you're telling people that? It's because you want to sell more systems. But at this late in the game, I don't think the Kingdom Hearts 3 is ever gonna be announced on PS4 at this late in the game. I mean, it's been announced 10 years ago when the PS3 was announced. Okay, that was its launch date. That was its starting period. And everybody's still suckered in buying another Kingdom Hearts set of games, when technically all they had to do was make the system backwards compatible with the PS3, and then you could actually focus on putting all your efforts into making the PS4 version. But nope, you had to make another version of the same game with slightly better graphics, slightly new gaming mechanics, and you're still not making enough money to rectify these problems that you're having with your tech support? I mean, you take $50 just from the game, you take $60 from the PlayStation Plus thing, I don't know why, you take from us another, for the cable service that you guys a la carte, another $60 for? I mean, yearly? At least that one's good, but every year, look at all these things that you're charging people for, and yet you're not willing to fix certain problems that you're having right now. I mean, for the PlayStation stuff that you guys are claiming that they're coming down the pipeline, I don't understand that. That's not good business. That's lame business, if you ask me. I mean, I'm just sitting here going, no, not another problem with Sony. But what can you do? I mean, I thought it couldn't get any worse, but it just got worse over and over again. I mean, I'm looking at it like, why? Sony, why do you do this to yourselves? I mean, it's just not logical. It's not smart business. If you think about it, if the PS3 was backwards compatible with the PS4, then I would not pick this version up, and then I would just focus on the PS4 version if it was backwards compatible with the PS3 games. But no, Sony had to make two different versions of the same game within the same time period. I mean, why? Why are you guys not doing smart business? Why are you being like, why are you guys not being business savvy? I don't understand that. I mean, and this is why, if it was backwards compatible, I could play the PS3 version of, what's it called? Final Fantasy X and X-2 from my PS3 version. I'm not gonna have to buy another PS4 version of the same game over again. I don't understand that. Logically, business like yours should not have this difficult concept of things being fixed or rectified. And with your guys' budget that you guys claim that you're making so much money now off of everybody, why don't you guys rectify certain situations like the iPhone debacle? I mean, because your apps don't work. I mean, come on, Sony. What are you guys doing? I mean, every day something seems to go wrong with your guys' company. I wouldn't rate your guys' stock margins to what they are. I would think they're actually less than what they are. And you guys say you're making, what? I've heard a person say to me, you're like a $2 billion company. And yet, you guys don't rectify certain problems that you're having with the PS4. Like your guys' app, you guys claim all this stuff like greatness awaits. That's your go-to move. What is this greatness awaits crap? Why are you always saying that to me? Like, why are you always saying that to the people? If I'm one of your consumers, but I'm forced to be because I didn't want my PS3 to break. Because that one has backwards compatibility. And you guys don't fix your PS3s anymore. So, I'm stuck with hoping that you get your act together for Sony's part and make a backwards compatible system. I mean, first you guys claim that Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming. Where is it? Where is it? It's already been 10 years. I mean, almost 11 years and nothing. Nothing. I mean, and why are you suckering people in to claim that certain games are coming? I'm still waiting for Highlander. Where's that? But I know how much Highlander would have cost to make, because you have to pay all the actors, and I get that whole thing. That's why they scratched the product. That's why they scratched the whole idea of it together. But I was really hoping, again, this was back in the day also, I'm really hoping for a Vector Man game. But I can see where that's a problem too. But because they don't want to ruin the whole integrity of that game. I mean, I get it. So that game doesn't come out. But you guys are banking on the fact that Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming for PS4. That's been 10 years. You might as well say that it is coming, but we don't know when. Okay, if Kingdom Hearts 3 is not coming, what is coming? I looked at your guys' list. Yeah, honestly, Red Dead wasn't my cup of tea, but I know people that actually play Red Dead but I think that game is good for certain people who like that game, but it's not for me. And also, Sony's hard drive space isn't large enough for me to have a large library of games for the PS4. I mean, I have to delete all my games on my PS4 that I don't like deleting. 500 gigs. That's all they came out with. 500 gigs to start off. And the games really, hard drive space wise, take up 40 gigs. Back in the day when it was just PS3, at most it would take, what was it? Metal Gear Solid 4 took 4 gigs. And then the largest one was, as far as I know of, was Destiny when I bought it for my PS3 originally. It took, what, 20 gigs when I bought it for the PS3. But I traded it in because every time I played Destiny, Destiny would crash on my PS3. I could play everything else, but except for where's the case? Oh, it's around here somewhere, but it was Destiny. It would crash my system every time I would pop it in for my PS3 within 5 minutes. Yeah, I know. But Sony should have been smart and already put 1,000 terabyte hard drive in, just like Microsoft. I mean, they were smart enough to actually come up with a terabyte hard drive to 2 terabyte hard drive. Thanks, Microsoft. You were the smart ones. Even though I'm talking about Sony's iPhone problem, I'm talking about this. And I'm still waiting for them to say to me, well, we're gonna fix this problem. But they haven't. They don't fix nothing around there at Sony anymore. Even Nintendo fixes or rectifies certain problems that they're having with their other consoles. I mean, whoops. So that's where I sit on Sony's scenario with that. But at the same time, honestly, the only reason why I bought a PS4 was because of this. Deus Ex, Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. But, again, PS3 is not able to play on the PS4 because it's not compatible with the last gen consoles, and yet it's a Blu-ray. And I would really want to play the first one and this one together. But no, Sony didn't do that. Sony wasn't smart enough to realize what mistakes they've done, even with the app. Look at, all I get is blue screen, just like when I air that game right there. Right now, the app doesn't work, and who knows when they're gonna actually come up with the update for this problem. I mean, if this is what they're actually trying to fix, they're not fixing nothing from Sony. I mean, look at this. We pay $50 a month or for the PlayStation Now stuff, or you guys do from PlayStation side of things, but I don't, because after I heard what it actually costs and what it actually does for only 3 months, I'm saying to myself, for $50 for 3 months to use to play your old PS3 games, that's not really worth it. I mean, I don't even pick up Prototype 1 and Prototype 2 for the PS4 because I already have them on my PS3. But still, and yet, the only reason, again, I'll state this, Square Enix, this is why I picked up a PS4. That was my only incentive to ever pick up a PS4. And Naruto. And I'm kind of happy that they're actually coming out with a collection of all 4 Naruto games. All 4. Not the crappy fighting games that Naruto came down the pipeline with. Not Ninja Storm Generations, not Revolution. The original 4 stories that made me want to buy the newer versions of Naruto Ultimate series. I mean, and I can't wait to fight on walls for most of the fight sequences for the first one. The first one for Naruto was the best one. The second one was better at exploration. The third one was just, I was just in it for the story, but then we talk about 4. I don't even like talking about 4 because I was hoping that the 4th one actually went all the way back to the beginning of the story from Hashirama to Madara, and went from that story to Naruto's current story in 4. But nope. And then we got the new DLC for Naruto for that. They added that on to 4, so yeah, it's gonna be good, but that's what they should have done a while ago. I mean, Legacy Collection is gonna be good only because the first one was the best one in my opinion, because you could, when you're in an actual one-on-one fight, you could actually run up walls whenever you liked. You didn't have to be restricted by movement like you are in the other 2 or the other 3. That's why the first one is the best one out of all the Naruto games. And the second one takes the first aspect of the first game to a whole different level. But the third one, didn't really care for much. I beat it. I beat all that. But yet, I wasn't happy with it, because they got rid of most of the good stuff that the first one had. Just like, shall I say, the PS3. Just like the PS4 got rid of the majority of stuff. I mean, they got rid of playing this. They got rid of playing this. And then you have to buy another one because it's not backwards compatible. So they ruined. Sony is basically ruining their own company in a nutshell. Oh, to answer your question, yes, I do watch Boruto. I watched it when it first came out, I watched it about 7 times. Yeah, the first episode 7 times. Because that was the only episode at the time, but the last episode was very, very good. I liked when Baruto got his ass kicked by Hinabi. Yeah, his aunt. I like that. He deserved that. Because I'm not a Baruto fan. I could care less about Baruto. I like his little sister. Because she's not worried about her dad's approval of her. Because she knows that her dad loves her. So, but Baruto is a baby, and he's the older brother. I mean, that's what I gotta say with that. I mean, just like Sony right now, I'll bring that to this level. Sony's like the baby in the forefront of video games right now. They claim they make all this money, but what is that money being used for? I mean, they're clearly not using it for the proper reasons where they should be investing in their money. What their focus should be. And yet, you don't hear a peep out of Microsoft. You don't hear a peep out of Nintendo. You don't hear a peep out of those two companies that are your competitors, and they're doing a whole lot better than Sony is because okay, they don't make games for this anymore. I have to go on Amazon, look for games for it right now if I wanted to. And all their games are digital now. I don't like digital games to begin with. I hate digital games. I think they're the lazy version of actually trying to make a game for your system. And get this, it's technically cheaper to make, but Sony charges us the same damn price for it if it was a regular physical game. That's why I rather buy it on disc rather than a digital copy of the same game. I mean, discs are nice and they feel good in your hand, in my opinion. But when I'm looking at the digital version, I'm like, what is this? I spent the same price that I could have bought it on disc? I mean, that's how I settle the whole debate on that. But Sony needs to do something ASAP. If they don't make it backwards compatible soon, they're gonna lose a lot more customers in the long run. Because I've traded in more games than I own than I ever did on PS3. I've only traded in about 4 games on my PS3 ever, or at least 5. I've matched that number within the past 4 months. I quadrupled the amount that I traded in from my PS4 to my PS3. Let's see, because I traded in God Eater 2, Raging Burst, because every time I would stream it, I would get a notice from YouTube saying that I did copyright infringement. What do you want me to do? Not play with sound? Like, you don't want me to enjoy your game with sound? So, you know what I did? The first chance I got, I traded it in. Because I was tired of... I wasn't going to play that game anyway. The anime is better than the actual game is. So, I traded in that one. I traded in Destiny 1 about... twice, 3 times, because they kept updating the same game with different DLCs for the PS4 every 6 months. So I needed the better version of that game. So, and then also, what is it? What is it? Yeah. And I traded in the original Mortal Kombat that I got from my collector's edition box, because they came out with the deluxe edition, but yet there's no Fujin in there in extra DLC content. I mean, he's in Mortal Kombat 4 as a visible character in the movie aspect of the game, but he's not a playable character. What is NetherRealm doing? I mean, are you pulling a Sony? Like, are you, like, that's what it feels like to me. Like, you guys in NetherRealm too put in Leatherface, Jason Voorhees, and Alien, which I like the touch of Alien, but you put Leatherface and Jason Voorhees together in the same game, and he plays exactly like Jason does. I mean, you could only have one Saw murderer in that game at a time. I mean, that's just dumb too. I mean, I'd rather have Fujin than his character in Leatherface in the game if you're already having Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. I mean, that's just how I feel about that. So, in a way, Sony's mistake is a whole bunch of mistakes left and right. I mean, after this, where the apps don't work anymore, like, wondering, do I really want to keep my PS4? Do I really want to see them already fail in my eyes? Which they have already have. I mean, the PS4 used to be a good system. The PS3 used to be Sony used to be a good company. But as of right now, they're doing nothing to rectify certain situations that they're currently having. I mean, let's face it. I mean, Nintendo's known for their Mario. They're known for Zelda. They're known for Super Smash Brothers. They're known for Kirby. I mean, there's 4 franchises right there. What is Sony known for right now? Letting people down. No backwards compatibility. Their technical support is shit. Their tagline is greatness awaits. Where's the greatness? I mean, the only reason why I have this system, the camera, All I'm using this for is a YouTube device. That's it. That's all I'm using this $400 piece of machinery as a YouTube device. That's it. $400 for a YouTube device. That's good marketing. Wow, Sony. I mean, you got Microsoft, which has Halo. You got Mass Effect, because they started out with Mass Effect first. I'm not giving that to Sony. They have Gears of War. And probably I would give that to Forza? Yeah, but Sony doesn't hate. Sony has Ratchet and Clank, which is nice, but they don't have God of War yet, so they claim that God of War is coming. But I'm still skeptical because I like the old voice actor of Kratos. I think Kratos was more of a more angrier and more of a man's man than the new voice actor of Kratos. This new Kratos looks like a, I'm sorry to put it like that, he looks like a sissy. He looks like a, he growls like a bear. Like, who does that? That's not coming out of the old Kratos. Kratos was just angry all the time. He didn't need to roar. He literally to show how manly he was. Kratos didn't need to do that. Kratos to me is now like a little girl. He's worse than a girl because he's always saying, "Come here, boy." I looked at the trailer for God of War, the new God of War game that's coming out, allegedly. And all he does is, "Come here, boy." I'm like, looking at him like, Kratos doesn't do that. Kratos doesn't care about anyone. I mean, he's gotten too soft. After seeing that trailer, I'm like, is this Kratos? Is this still the God of War? Is this the God of or is this the God of desperation now? I mean, that's what it feels like. And don't get me again, Kingdom Hearts. I'll state this again. Kingdom Hearts 3. It's already been 10 years since its conception, since its announcement. Everybody's hoping for Kingdom Hearts 3, but Microsoft has that too. Sony has no edge to their lineup anymore because Microsoft will easily pick them up eventually. So what does Sony have left? They have nothing. They lose their exclusivity rights for Kingdom Hearts 3. What else do you need? What else do I need to explain to you guys that Sony does not make that much profit margin, even though they claim that they're making all this money, and yet they're not doing anything with it. So how can you justify their tagline of greatness awaits? I don't understand that. I mean, I'm just sitting here waiting for the day that Sony actually comes out with a backwards compatibility system so I could actually trade in my Destiny bundle for that one instead, because I want to play Metal Gear Solid Rising on my PS4. I really do. I played that game 4 times when it came out. I beat it at least 8 times in total. I played that game all the way through in story mode at least 4 times. I played Metal Gear Solid 4 5 times, but on the 5th time, I gave up. I was like, I'm bored now. And it would only take me 2 days, 48 hours to beat Metal Gear Solid 4. The first time I played it, it took me about 14 days. But after that, it took me 48 hours every time. 20 hours in total. But it took me a portion of 2 days to get everything situated the way I wanted to play. I would always stop in the middle of the start of Chapter 3. That's where my break was, when I was playing Metal Gear Solid 4. But, yet, they don't plan on remaking Metal Gear Solid 4. I mean, Sony, what are you guys doing? You really need to make a backwards compatibility system in order for me to justify all this money that I'm investing in your guys' company to begin with. I have Horizon Zero Dawn, but yet I'm not good with a bow. But I like her character, but I'm not good with a bow. So I'm better with, if I had to pick a weapon that I'm going into battle with, I would pick a sword first, and then a gun. But I'm never going into battle with a. I have a difficult time with a bow. So Horizon Zero Dawn is a great game, don't get me wrong, but it's the most difficult thing I've ever seen. It's one of the most difficult games I've ever seen. And Horizon Zero Dawn was one of the reasons why I also bought a PS4. But other than that, there's no other reason why I bought a PS4. Because Metal Gear, the newest one, Round Zero or whatever it was called, didn't tickle my fancy. I played it, I could not beat it because I'm not used to Solid Snake riding a horse. I'm not used to that. I'm more used to that in Assassin's Creed. But then again, everything changes, but yet certain things should not change at all. I mean, that's the bottom line. See, for me, I would say that sooner or later, if Sony doesn't show up to the party like it claims that it always is, it will lose my interest. Because PS3, I have Zone of the Enders 1 and 2 as a collection. I have the originals on PS2 also. So, but then again, those aren't backwards compatible. Because, again, Sony's mistake was not making their PS4 backwards compatible. And it feels like I'm losing faith in what Sony is telling all of us to do. Greatness awaits. Why do you always have to use that tagline, Sony? Why? There's no reason for you guys to use that tagline ever. I mean, everybody says Kobe Bryant is the best player ever. That's a false statement. The greatest player ever is Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird. Even though Larry Bird's only won 3 titles, I would still state that Larry Bird is better than Kobe Bryant. I said it. And Magic Johnson is way better than Kobe is. All of those 3 players are better than Kobe Bryant. Even Scottie Pippen is better than Kobe. And Kobe's like the PS4. All this untapped potential wasted because of his big ego. Just like Sony's. He could have won 6 titles with Shaq. I guarantee you. But that dream is done. That isn't going to happen because of Shaq. Because of Kobe's ego. Shaq was the face of the team's franchise. And without the luxury of Shaquille O'Neal, the big Aristotle, the big fella, Kobe would have never ever won 3 titles. And to replace Shaq, you had to replace him with 2 7-footers to replace Shaq's dominance. That does not make sense to me. I mean, that's just like Sony's MO. You didn't have to replace what made PS3 great. I mean, with all this, no backwards compatibility, nothing like that, and still, all I use this for is a YouTube device. I mean, what's the notion that Sony's giving to me? I mean, that's the bottom line. That's how I see it. So, in a way, everything that Sony's doing wrong, they could easily rectify. But they choose not to, just like everything else. But no, Sony's problem is that they don't have good leadership. Let's see, the person that was running Sony was before him. Not him, the other one. The one before was the good one. But Sony's not even doing anything to fix that problem. Yet, their stupid tagline is "Greatness awaits." Where's the greatness? I mean, only Kobe says that, if you would think about it. Who does that? I mean, if you're talking about system-wise, I would have to claim the system of PS1 is like Larry Bird. And, it's like Bill Russell and Larry Bird. And all those guys rolled up into one. Like, if you think about it, it's like, the system from the PS1 days is like Bill Russell. Good, reliable, and plays defense. The PS2 is like Magic and Larry Bird all rolled up into one. But the PS3 is like Magic and all those 3 players that I mentioned. Those 2 players that I mentioned, those were also good. But when you're looking at the PS4, it's like Kobe. No defense, no complaints that he got fouled, and nothing. Nothing. That's how you got all this old potential and you don't do nothing with it. That's why I don't watch basketball anymore. Because every player now in the NBA complains. You didn't see that many players complain back in the old days. And they actually played a lot harder defense. And that's how I see it. But in retrospect, I'm gonna be checking in again to see if the app will work on my phone again tomorrow, and I'll keep you guys updated because I don't know when they're gonna actually fix this problem from Sony. Because, wow. I talked a lot today, so I'll check you guys later. Or check you later then. So wait.
Home screen. The playroom. Button. Option. Function screen. Home screen.
Whoops.
The playroom. Close application.